here. So maybe I think I should better talk in English. It can be used by Kushbu as well, or anybody else who doesn't follow them. But it's fine. In a way, if at all we want to reuse this, long time I should have done it. And every time Janani used to tell me, see, when anybody newly joins, right, we used to talk about how we operate, etc. It's like onboarding induction I used to take. But those days, there was no facility to record and all that. Eventually, I ended up repeating the same story every now and then, right? So that way, at least now we can keep it as. See, anytime if you have doubt also while doing reconciliation, you can look back, right? So this is the expenses.xls, which is fine, my own personal expenses, which I was maintaining till the year 2010. So any doubt, possibly it has my own personal expenses mixer. So like the one that we found out, right, August 2008, this Excel, this appeal, help2others. This is an Excel sheet where I have all the appeals, any help to others. That's why the name is all about, right? All the appeals activities that I have done is stored here. So one such a thing was here when we talked. There quite a lot of sheets. This is where it starts. Muthu Selvi. This is because SHaDE was started in August 2008. Beforehand, whatever it was all there, that is before August 2008. So we don't need to really bring into the SHaDE's umbrella. I would still require your help, as we discussed in the earlier video, where we want to put these appeals, brought it into a separate table structure altogether. Maybe we can mimic our own transaction details and all that, like what we have for SHaDE, right? SHaDE table regular member appeal. You know about SHaDE structure, right, Sabrish? Is it not? But I quickly show you. Okay, quickly show you just in case. This can be useful for others as well, like Kushbu or Janani, whenever you want to look at it. Let me. This is my root user. Is there. So we have list of tables. Forget about case of all this. I think we should better move to different schema. This I told you, right, Sabrish, a while ago. Case of this is for Uti Badgas. So they wanted to, what is the case of? It is for some tribes, scheduled tribes that we were helping, right? Where is that case of?
Did you get any
Keystone Foundation? No. See, January 24. Keystone Foundation. That's got case of called. So I've asked him, is there any update? But no response. I'll further do it. Hi, Bala. Greetings. You are doing well. Let's me do. See, this is again machine learning from Google. You saw that? Machine learning.
Yeah.
According to the context, what we type, it keeps filling that, right? So this is Keystone Foundation. Best thing, Sabrish, what we can do, we remove all these tables. It's not required at all. Either you can do it in local as well as my SHaDE as well. Because every backup that we take, it keeps increasing, right? Let this be a Jira task.
Better I'll create one more database with case of, then I'll import
MySQL
all the data and I'll drop this entire case of table from our.
Thank you. Right?
Now, why it is showing MariaDB?
Because MySQL has been changed to MariaDB now. No. Older versions were MySQL. Now it's MariaDB. Because MySQL is stopped at version 8.
Oh, okay.
MariaDB is the latest version from 9 or something. MySQL 8 was the last they made it. I think there's still a subtle difference between MySQL and MariaDB. But more or less, my
Okay.
MariaDB is an enhanced version of MySQL, right? So our version is
Oh yeah.
different. What we use.
Is there any syntax changes like Postgres?
Not much. See, this is
Okay.
10.1.13 MariaDB, right? MySQL was stopped at version 8. After version 8, everything is MariaDB. Okay. So this case, we'll move it. I think I'll assign to you on Jira, right? I'll assign to you, right? It's a
Okay.
typical backup. I'm just adding it here so that we don't miss it as a traction. In fact, we could even do that in Confluence, as in when we keep talking, right? It's better. Okay, so next, okay, I wanted to tell you the main tables, right? Even this is, I don't know, Rag's text, what I was, you can move it because it doesn't really contribute to our SHaDE table, right? And
Okay.
SHaDE transaction as well, I don't know. Probably this could be an older table. Select from SHaDE transaction, not select from. Just a transaction. Only one. Okay. Maybe for some testing I would have done. Great. Some normal test transaction, dummy transaction I've created, we can get rid of it. Remove this
Okay.
as well. In production also we need to do it. I'll make a note. Likewise, I don't know what it is. ID. Okay, for some testing I would have done. I'm sure name user. Some just testing I have done it. So we can remove this as well. It doesn't do anything, right? I don't know somewhere I would have used it within an application, but I can right away do that. Do you know that there's something called FlyWayDB, Sabrish? Have you heard of it? FlyWayDB.
No, no, sorry. Lightweight. Okay. I'll check. What is it now?
It's a DB traction tool. Like version control, we
Oh.
have it, right?
Uh-huh.
Likewise, within the database, it tracks what changes across the previous and current, like Git. Similar to that, it's within
Oh.
database.
Oh.
So I'm going to explore it. I'll tell you what. So now what it will do, if I have Flyway installed from between the previous backup and I take a backup next, if you look at it, today is Saturday, right? Tomorrow we take a backup. It will record it saying that the previous week's backup, say version X, and this week's backup version Y has these
Hmm.
changes. What this database,
Oh.
rocks text, KSF tables are deleted from this. Whether you move it
Okay.
later, obviously it will give another script. In the new
Mm-hmm.
version, it is getting added into, say it will tell you on the current version, right? The KSF star tables are removed, rocks test is removed, and what is one more thing? SHaDE, what is that? SHaDE tax transaction TX tables are removed. And the new transaction, it will say that the new database is added. If at all, it's a schema. Otherwise, it will only show the traction within the SHaDE database, these tables are removed. Previously, it was there, now it is removed. That's what is going on.
Okay. Okay.
Drop table, SHaDE transaction. That's it. We can directly get rid of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that. I can just take it here. It is done. Similarly, I'll execute in production as well, but I'll track it so that it becomes accountable. Tomorrow, do you know
Okay.
why I'm tracking it? Simple guess. I can directly execute these two statements, drop statement, right? Not a big deal. I can directly
Mm-hmm.
execute it in production. Directly, I can log into cPanel,
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
what do you call? Take MySQL prompt, remote PHP myadmin, and then I can drop it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But why
Yeah.
I say that I wanna track it in Jira? Any guess?
Jira for the future reference, what we have
Yes,
done
any
earlier,
traction,
and
like how
mm-hmm.
I have mentioned it from my own personal expenses, and then this SHaDE here, this appeal,
Mm-hmm.
2007, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know where I have transferred. This today I have added, right after we discussed in the previous meeting. I didn't know from which account this funds was sent, but I was able to luckily crack it in my own Excel sheet here, which I was maintaining, August 2008. At least this gave me a clue, right? This for Muthuselvi, help Karthik Infi, I have transferred from my own city online account, right? 1190, that matches. Something like that, a descriptive remark, so that at least somewhere when you search for it later, within a Jira, you would get it. Say some script fails, some PHP page fails. Where did it go? So eventually you have an entry somewhere. If you search for it, you get it, right? So that's more of auditing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't need this. So the primary column now, let's go to tables now. Show tables. I'm still in the schema. So we can even remove all cases of here as of now, because we can move it into different structure altogether. So it's fine. I'll move it later because it's more than one table. Either I should write a procedure to remove all of them. Otherwise, I need to drop one after other, which is a bit time consuming. It's fine. So the primary table I wanted to talk about is why I said this, why we came to this topic. Transaction details. Yes. So I wanted to create a table structure similar to this to capture this help to others, right? So that, all these information in Excel sheet should be mapped to that new database what you would create. Until we both agree on, we review this, we should not bring it into our table. Even though we can bring it with the date wise, we can filter it, but still what we can do is something like staging, how we use in EMDD, right, Sabrish? So we create a table, use it as a staging, meaning we will create the structure and parse it. Within Excel, there are tools to help you parse, or directly you can write a query and one after other where you can keep appending and then push it at one shot. A bulk insert we could do, right? But it takes time. Probably, you can do it maybe 5 sheets a day. Not all the sheets will have many entries, right? This is 2 entry. This is again 2 entries, right? So you can be selective. And then as and when you keep finishing it, you put a mark. Something like this green color, right? Some color you have it so that you'll have an understanding what you have done, right? So this is only 2 entry. So we need to really find out, see, what it has happened. This is something like somebody D'Souza, where funds required, we have added 11th August 2008, and again some get it later, my own brother, right? I need to actually, one of the other benefits is I need to find out if at all this funds has been utilized, and I have paid on my own on behalf of either my brother or friends Satish Kumar, Venkatesh ML, whoever I have shown you in the previous call as well within this Excel sheet. These get it later. Now I need to at least start asking, though it's been decades, right? 2008 and 2021. Nevertheless, it is still a valid claim, right? If at all. So if you have not sent anything, then this should be still, you need to mark it accordingly. This is again my Citibank. I thought I'm going to send it because I was primarily operating from a Citibank account. So that's why I put Citibank. But was there a transaction made? No. In that case, this is a logical entry. If at all there was a transaction, you would see an entry like this, right? See, N. Sedu, my college senior, who sent 1,000 rupees, it came into Citibank account. 6/8/2008, NEFT invert. There was a transaction. That remarks I would have certainly added it, most likely, 99%. That's still 1% maybe in a hurry, I would have missed it. So I need to what I will do, I can reconcile it. Maybe, I can share my account, a PDF. I don't know whether I still get it in my city. I don't know. It's been years, decades back. Or I need to check my previous hard drives, wherever, if at all I have it, right? So from where I'll try to do that from my exercise. Where is there a potential match? Somebody committed, did they give it or not? Because I need to ensure that it is just a logical money, committed money, or it is actual transferred money. Got it? No matter what. I'll do that my best. So we need to move it into a workflow model. What is that we need to do? And you can also put a status, yet to verify. We'll work on it. Yet to verify, or transaction verified, etc. So if this is potentially committed money, but we have not yet received, that's a different story, right? And the appeal is not used. We have just thought of it, but it has not proceeded further. I need to verify my emails. Probably that's a mail trail. See, if you look at it, this will help me now, right? The date and time in which the mail came and what is the mail subject. So I do save it. So eventually I go to my this previous Gmail ID, 30 May 1981, which I had it in my date of birth. In that email account, I can log in and look from this person and this day time frame, I can fetch it, that email account, right? At least from that thread, I can try to find out what had happened actually for that appeal, right? Anything, either we have sent it or I would have forgotten to update it here, right? There could be anything. Either this could be exact happy path scenario as what we see in the Excel sheet. We started working on an appeal. Probably people were committing. There is only a logical flow. Here, Varadan dropped the check from his ICICI bank directly to the beneficiary account. This is my other friend. college mate who worked in London, Cognizant by the time I told you, right? Initially, for every account, he used to send 1,000 or every appeal, 1,000 or 2,000, he used to send it, right? So he has dropped the check from his ICICI bank directly to the beneficiary account. So that means it is not for any good to us, right? Maybe if you want, you can consider, but it is not of any good use. We didn't receive any money. The amount went to the beneficiary's account directly. So if you want to consider this include this into the traction, maybe we have to put some other status so that it doesn't really count into the monetary aspect of it, right? Credit or debit when we speak about it, right?
Okay.
So this can take any shape. Either it's just a logical, we were just talking about a committed money, but we didn't receive it at all, and we didn't dispatch. So that means what? No loss, no gain, profit and loss, right? So we are good to ignore this altogether. Nothing to do further on this, right? More like a state mission. Or people have committed, there was logical money, and I might have sent it, right? I forgot to make an entry here in the Excel sheet. In this case, that's a different workflow. I have sent the money. This is my own funds. This person, my brother, right, 250 get it later. So I should go back and get it from him, correct? Because I have really spent the money on his behalf. If at all the money was dispersed to the beneficiary, that takes a different shape, right? Third statement. Third is what? Here, if at all somebody send the money like this, then you should find something. But we didn't disperse it at all. That means it's a logically received funds. Funds is with me, but we have not dispatched it. We have not disbursed it, remitted the funds to the beneficiary. That means what? I have received the funds with me, but I've not spent it. So that's a logical credit. Either ways, right? Logical debit, logical credit. For which also, no matter what, each of the appeals, definitely we will work. Sit together like this, couple of sessions we will take, maybe 2-3 appeals in a session, where we both will jointly, like how we did it last 1 hour, where I was walking you through the previous appeals and my own Excel sheet. You remember, right? Kind of reconciliation I was able to get from my own data, right? Likewise, once you are done with the database migration, like exporting all these data from help2others.xls to actual database, where we'll right, one after the other, we'll update the status workflow as well. You finish the database, and then we will sit together and review the data structure as well. How are we going to move it, right? That said, we will sit together and take upon 2-3 appeals in a session, depending on the volume, right? And we will take it. Whatever I said, I need to verify. We will verify it together so that you also understand how the logical reconciliation steps are being carried away, right? I'll verify my bank account statement, and there's no secret, right? Probably something like some financial information you might get to know, it is fine, but only it's between both of us, or anybody else. Our admin team is gonna watch, right? Maybe my salary or whatever the figures you might get to see. If not, just everything is a common data, right? So we will reconcile it together so that it becomes easy for us, rather than I alone do it and then we patch up. Let's avoid it. It's not required. We can look at it together and tick it off so that this appeal can be completely marked, reconciled, processed. So that said, this Excel can be totally discarded, right? So whatever you bring it into place, we will reconcile, going through the mails, going through the account statements, etc., etc. There we can start filling in as well. Got it?
Okay.
Where what fund flow goes. Any questions? Any doubts?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the table, what you need to do, primary table is here. I'm telling you. Table beneficiary, if you want, you can add it. Table beneficiary, right?
Okay.
It shows that list of beneficiary to whom we are adding, right? Which is city, location, address. If at all we want to have it, it's good to have one time we can do it. Beneficiary, you might need to write a SQL query, or probably I'll create a web page form. We can ask Kushbu to create a web page in which also you can add it. It gives an Excel sheet format in the structured form, right? Either I create a web page within our own application where using a form you can enter it. Something similar to what we have it here already, right? It's already there, but it's not great. We need to do that. Let me see if within NextGen we can do it. See here, view beneficiaries like that. Beneficiary add beneficiaries. The same form, right? Now it is connected to the current SHaDE database. But I want you to work this out in a separate structure so that it goes in a separate database. That's what we talk about, right? That is a staging table, right? So whatever we're going to do, the workflow for the data migration, right? Primarily, we talk about actual SHaDE transactions. From the respective year specific SHaDE transaction. .xls file. This is one. Other thing is historical in help2others.xls sheet. Okay. What do we do? Create a separate schema. I still get into the format of schema because officially we speak schema, right? Oracle. In MySQL, it's a separate database, but it's one and the same. You get the context, right?
Yeah.
What we can do, we can possibly prefix what historical or old, something meaningful, right?
Okay.
What are they? Table beneficiary. We need to mark the beneficiary details. To whom the appeal was created. We know that, right? Then table transaction appeal. Each sheet in the Excel file, right? One appeal, right?
Yeah.
Mark or link. This is all master table, right?
Okay.
Next, what is it comes what? Detail table or a transaction table, right? I think these three tables will help most likely. Right. Show tables beneficiary we have seen, right? Bank account, possibly we could use it, bank account as well, right? Appeal info we have seen. You can take a look on that itself, right? Beneficiary ID we are marking, date entered, by when the appeal. So the date entered, what you should mark it, Sabrish? This date. By when the mail came, right? September 9, September 8 means September 2008, September 9 is the date in which the appeal was created. Appeal was deemed to be created at least, right? And maybe name and email you have it. Wherever it is not available, you mark all the columns as nullable because we never know. Historical data, sometimes you may not get it. For the safer side, you mark everything as nullable. Of course, sometimes it will have a issue in terms of your joins, query, etc. That's a later issue we can look at it. But it's more like a now transaction historical table, right? So you can't have restrictions. We need to just blindly mark the dump the data into the table, right? That said, we don't have any control or guarantee on the key fields. Rather, we make everything as nullable, right? Not null only. We cannot insist anything for not null. It can be nullable, right? And then table bank account. This as well we can take it. What happened? Account number, bank, branch, city. Possibly we can reuse it from the typical SHaDE transaction itself. Nothing new, nothing special. Maybe what I would have had it is some people would have sent to my SBI account. Even for our SHaDE, it is there. Sometimes it's ICICI itself directly. They have it. When you say ICICI Bank, it is the SHaDE ICICI. Citibank is my Citibank, right? Email ID also we should track it. Most likely, some email IDs would have got expired. They would have shifted the company, etc. So somewhere you see, yet to get it, something like you need to mark it specially, right? Did not include as it was required to donate. So we need to go through. If at all you have any doubts, please mark it. You put it in remarks column. We mandatorily need remarks column. Make it 500,000 character limit, right? For each appeal, I also have a summary. If you look at it, source of credit, from where to where we got it, all that, right? So basically, beneficiary account also we have it here. You look at it, from where to where we have. So we have one of our student somewhere. I think sometimes I would have added my SBA account, ICICI SHaDE. She is again now a beneficiary, Richa. She was a friend. Somewhere I was introduced. She was in Mumbai. Now she is in US. She is contributing to us now. She, after a long time, she got in touch with me. She reminded. She followed up with me. How am I doing, etc. I don't even know who is she. I've not met her. I've not spoken to her. She was referred to by my classmate Kameshwaran, his wife's friend. She was Richa, right? We spent about 20,000 rupees for his dad's operation. Okay. First set 20,000 we have spent 2009, right? So this is the same guy I told you, right? Satish Kumar, 200. Please take it for myself. So likewise, I think I had some sheet at the end of it. If I'm not wrong. Somewhere I've collated it to get, I think all these were coming somewhere. I don't know where it is. See, this is year 2010. We have dropped, bifurcated how much for each year. I don't know why 2009 comes. Somewhere we put it. So most likely I would have mapped all of them. She is our cancer survivor. Kriba, AML. She was an AML patient. She is a survivor. We spent 25,000 rupees sent to her at that time. She survived. She is still a good survivor. Positive case of the cancer. Siva AML. This guy was also living. I tried connecting, but it's been a long time. I spoke to him for some time, then I missed it. So somewhere I wanted to show you my SBA account. See all these mail, whatever it is, some remarks I would have mapped it here, right? Why I don't see my SBI? Okay, you might find it somewhere. They also might have added. See, this is something only shares internal funds we sent, 10,200 rupees, right? Nobody has contributed. I also thought I would add it, but I don't know. Or this is 10,000, my own 200. I don't know what it is. 10,200 we have added. We have spent. So no credit, only debit, right? All the mails, old mails, all would be still in my personal mail ID, 30 May 1981. That ID only it was there. Before I started creating raghavan.shade, raghavan.shade@gmail.com. Okay. So, Disha. So this is one student I remember. It was introduced where I requested Disha members, some other team to inquire. This girl's father was living in a posh apartment. These people didn't even really find them, to be really genuine. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please help, sir. That's all over phone, he said. They said, they are looking in a very fantastic apartment, paying a good rent. They are able to afford to pay that much rent. Why can't they pay for the daughter's fee? Right? And I immediately stopped. Very limited amount. Whatever we collected, just for the sake of it, I sent. Otherwise, initially we thought of spending some more good money. Then I stopped. It was the first appeal. I requested other team. You see here, Disha. This team member was to help us verify. Right? So one of the other volunteers helped me. They verified it. They said, sir, no, we are not confident. So then I have, then I think I have made a comment somewhere. Somebody have contributed from 5,000 rupees. I think that was somewhere in mail or somewhere. Some remarks I would have added. I don't know why. But we spent only this much. I do remember that. It's the first case. And next year also the same person came. We said, sorry. Nothing, something we have done. Okay. So I'm looking for. Yet to get. Yeah. See here, it's already there, boss. Vidya or Kanna, right? Amount I have to get it from individuals. See here, Satish Kumar, look at my own brother. I don't know whether I've got it or not. Did not donate. So that means what? This fund was thought of but not utilized it, right? You can ignore it. I to discuss with Amma. I don't know why. He wanted to check with my mother. So looks like this is the amount I need to get from your brother. 10,000 rupees, 150. 10,000, 150. I don't know whether I've got it from him somewhere. Hey, this is all a decade before, right? 2008, 9, 10. Likewise, if you look at it, Satish Kumar. Oh, all put together, not just my brother. Sorry. So my own brother is 8450. Oh my goodness. If you look at it, Satish Kumar, my other friend, he has to give me 1,700. Around 7 appeals he has asked me to contribute for himself, right? Status did not donate also is there, 1 or 2, which is fine. I'll ignore it. Oh, I think I've already done to a decent extent, Sabrish. See, Sabrish, I made your job easy. So this is 500 rupees. This I have to get it from somewhere. I've done it, so we can make use of this. Somewhere, typically, but still, I don't know whether it is what was the latest we have done, right? Let's look at it. When last by you, which date you have done it? Let's remove the filter. Yeah. So December 10, 20, 2010 till that year, I think I have done it. This is 2011. So this is all January. So that means this is December, right? So I've done most part. Here there is nothing. Ekam. So the last one is December 20, baby Matumita. Just here it is, right? A to get, I think I've consolidated here. Satish Kumar 300, my brother 500. Both of them will be here. See, baby Madhumita. Baby Madhumita, why only one? Why not? My brother's name is not there. How come? See, here itself we have a gap. Not required as amount 40K was sufficient for the beneficiary. So I have not considered this 500 from my brother. This 300. So we might need to look at it, Sabrish, right? Then why I include this 300? Here anyways did not donate. I marked it, but I entered it, but I marked it as did not donate, right? So somewhere I'm saying, so till this I've tracked it, right? So which date, which all that, right? So having said that, this is something different altogether, not what we are planning to do with Kushbu, Janani, and you. The mainstream, the SHaDE XLs, this we have, right? SHaDE transaction here. This is the mainstream. I have not yet gone there. This is purely your work, but still, as we discussed, I'm keeping it recorded so that tomorrow anybody, any of us can make use of it, right? That's why I'm talking in English as well, right? So this is purely for the old appeals before even we could start SHaDE, and typically until we brought back the transactions of May 2010 onwards. I think we have it here. I'll talk about it when I come to here, right? This sheet. So certainly not till I think December 2010 also we have it. Somewhere, if I look at the SHaDE entry, we can look at it here itself, right? Latest entry. Describe table transaction details. This is the main transaction table, right? Beneficiary appeal or master table. This is what it is. So select star from table. So when is the date? Abhishek Ravi. Why? Order by one descending. I'm doing a mistake here, right? Rakesh, yes. When is it? May 2010. Okay. Date, a month and year I have it. Why date? not day, month. 1975. Awesome. Where do I have 1975, boss? Month, May, year 2010, right? Interesting. Savarish. Somewhere 1975 is there, huh? One. How come? Ah, so there is this is something spam. 2017 we have it. 34 2010. But this is for July month. Is it a spam? Where the year entered as 1975. Transaction ID
Karin
4
underscore Robbie.
no, this is a spam. Looks like
Oh,
we need to verify. That's why I said, one more information. You remember this? This particular stuff I have taken. I'll show you. SHaDE. I've exported that in email as a printf. Admin bank account statements. Remember, I was requesting every one of us in the admin group to go through this reconciliation.
Yeah.
Right? So here, I'm going to upload all account statements. This is where we get it from ICICI Bank. I think she has created all the Jira tasks. I've seen it. Kushbu has created in our SHaDE.team. Jira. She has created in BAU, BAU or NextGen. She has 40, 41 I have seen. Notification. Only this is coming. So project NextGen. She has added in NextGen or what? I think. Yeah, here she has added. Right? To facilitate the update, to move all the IOB bank accounts for SSS, right? She has added all this.
Okay.
To move all the IOB bank accounts for SSS. She assigned to me, right? Raghavan. So she created that. Kushbu did a good job on time. That's good. She doesn't have anything pending. I've also asked her to make it in Jira, right? She has added this. So here is where one of the things I said, walk through the steps involved for transaction reconciliation to Kushbu and separation, which I'm made to do. You know why? This is steps for transaction reconciliation. In a way, I'm giving a common gyan because what could be required with the previous, just an ancestor of it is what we're talking about. Help to others before even it could shape up into SHaDE, right? Or just before during the journey of it, right? So this is something, it's what I wanted to tell you. Here, transaction reconciliation. Reconciliation, I'll walk you through more like every statement, we need to take 1 month statement. I'll tell you that automated reconciliation as well. I'll show you this. In this statement, somewhere I think we'd have added either here or I've added a statement. This is all old. Somewhere we have added this, some older statement. Give me a minute. OneDrive SHaDE Excel files. Take 2015, somewhere older. Primarily, Janani and myself were operating on these files. There is a password. It takes a little longer time. Password we enter. What happened? I think it doesn't have anything. Okay. This file is not of any good use. 2014. I think thereafter we stopped using Excel. Everything in online. Because I didn't want to continue this legacy, right? Excel and then Excel to see this is all debit. That's all credit, something like that, right? We didn't want to carry forward the same legacy. Those days we were maintaining that, right? Then I stopped it. Somewhere you look at it. What is the commit? After reconciliation, see here. You see that? This is the metadata. We had it. Starting transaction ID, what we should give it. Last transaction ID, what is it for this month, right? I'll tell you in detail when I'll start exploring this. Probably I'll take a different session. Maybe, it's time already 11 o'clock. This one I'll separately walk you through. Maybe, with the Janani and Kushbu, or in case Janani is not able to join because he's still busy, at least to you and Kushbu, I'll walk you through with the best of my knowledge, what is there in my mind. Here it is, right? Statement verification, ICICI account, 10 May 2013 by Rags. I have verified it. All these statements were verified. IOB account also I verified it. Modification history, if greater than 1 people work on the sheet, I don't know what it was. Include few transactions on 31st October. What is that? Okay, from here to here it has to come, I guess. From here, something there is a reconciliation that we need to look at it. Maybe I forgot the traction. See, all of them I verified on the same day. You look at it, these transactions, reconciliation history, I've added it. Getting me? This is what I'm saying about automating. A potential enhancement to automate the reconciliation where we can upload the statement in this PDF. This is even more. Automate the PDF and then automatic scanning. But at least reconciliation status, right? Admin team to mark the reconciliation status for the transaction. Either at a transaction level or at a separate new DB table to mark it against for each month. Something like this. At a month level, when is the reconciliation done? Who did it? Like a metadata. So that helps now, right? You see here. This is the sync between me and Janani. Got it? I think all of them I have done it. Sometimes Janani must have done it also. She was, see here, JP. She put it as JP, Janani Priya. Verified. She did it. 19 May 24, she did it once and she verified it. Right? You see that? JP is for her, Janani Priya. Right? Something like that. We used to have it. Okay. So my request to you is that we look at this, and this I need to look at it. 4172, the transaction. This seems to be certainly wrong. Let me take this. See, one useful thing is here, right? NEFT, what we have. I can directly verify it. Tell me where I can verify, Sabrish. Now I think you should come to use, right? Come to the search, transaction particulars. See, here it is. This is of my own transaction. I did it on 2014, correct? Isn't it? This is what I copied. Am I right? So this is surely a dummy entry. Maybe by mistake it got added. You got it? Oh, God, see here. Balakrishnan Ramakrishnan was the one. I think the name was also wrongly mapped. This is Ramesh Ganesh. He is the one who transferred it. SHaDE sponsored student, but the name, maybe it is again a browser history, right? When we are acknowledging in the browser, when you go back and forth, the name must have got changed. So this is a legitimate transaction, but this is not acknowledged against anybody. Some 4376, I'll tell you what. This is why I'm telling you the fake entry or a dummy entry is. If you go to this, even today, the default entry, somebody must have, see when the form gets loaded, right? Okay, you see? What is the amount? What do you see here?
4,000.
4376. This is the same 150200 what I have searched for, right? And this is my own transaction 14022800 what I have searched earlier. Am I right? I know because I am the one who created the forms. So this is the default entry, right? You see, this is with one person. This is my own statement. What I have added it. So I wanted to give some meaningful name, meaningful value. So I put this. I should have given it in placeholder. That's a wrong thing. So somebody should have added details, maybe by mistake, or it looks like a spam. It looks like a clear spam. Got it? Cabin, Robular D, etc. 4172 doesn't make any sense at all, right? Transaction ID we don't have. Doesn't make any sense. It's a pure dummy. Maybe a entry created by mistake. It doesn't add anything. For March 2017, whenever I think March 2017 it got added. When you reload this will show the current date. When you reload the page, it will show the current month and year. So this was automatically added. I forgot to capture this audit columns here, right? That's why we don't have it. Who created that? But maybe sometimes by mistake, or this is sure shot. Nobody would have used that user email ID of this guy, right? So because this form is not restricted, right? Anybody could still use it even today. Correct? So we need to restrict this. We need to bring a lot of restrictions. Right? That's, having said that, that's why I always say in Confluence, we need to continuously keep talking about requirements. Because I can tell you a lot of different things on the each module. See, it's because it's my baby, right? Since 2008 or even before I've been working on it. You see, I have all the data, right? Obviously, nobody else can have a better knowledge or can give a better idea than me, because I knew each and every bit and pieces of it, right? Because it's me who is dealing with it every day. Since day one without any gap, right? Rest of them can have some doubts, but most likely it is not the case with me. If at all, I also have a doubt. That's extremely rare scenario where I would have genuinely forgotten. Okay. So this is the sure shot. So at least, sometimes it helps. Some sort of random check if you do. This is a sure shot, the transaction 1975, right? It is certainly a wrong entry. You know why I'm doing all this, Sabrish? Tell me. What I'm going to do, can you tell me quickly?
We just do the data cleansing.
One, right? Then I can directly, I'm going to delete it in my own table. But of course, yes, next backup, what you have taken, if I push it in, they all will come back. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why I'm typing this, Sabrish?
For everyone knows what you
Yes.
are doing.
Or even for me as well, right? So delete this. Why I add this? Because we need to put it, eventually we need to execute everything in SHaDE database. Got it? What I would request, before you take the next dump DB backup, you cleanse this and then you take it up. Make sense? Maybe I can put all of them into Confluence and put a comment as a action item, right? So you cleanse this and then bring it back, so that now whatever I'm going to delete in my local DB, I'm running it in my local PHP, not in remote. I cannot connect to remote. PHP myadmin in GoDaddy does not allow a remote connection to MySQL due to security reasons. Okay? So I'll be deleting it here in my local DB, but I would request you to kindly take care of all this. Nothing great. You know the steps I'm even giving that, right? That's the reason why before you update any DML command, what you should do. Sabrish. Before
First
running any
we have
DML
to
command.
select.
Yes.
Yeah, first we have to select
Why?
the data.
You know why? You are a better DB programmer than me. Why?
This human error can.
Yes, just to ensure you are targeting the right data, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we deleted this. This is again a traction. I'm doing it so that I assign to you as well. You know what we have done, right? Worst case, before even in case it gets delayed, I have to format it in Confluence. I'll share this file. You know what we have done, right? Can look at it. Now let's execute this min month 2009 April. That is interesting. Where is the 2009 coming from? I thought 2010 only we have added, right? So it is even more interesting. What are these entries? SHaDE group, Kruba CML medical expenses, something I have added here. 2009 1231. This is a legitimate ID, not spam. Okay. So what is the transaction type? Credit, both are credit. Funds adjustment, internal funds adjustment, right? 2009, but why it said April? Month is separate. How do we club it up? This is because I think the select query runs separately, right? Min of year is separate, min of month is separate, correct?
Yes.
If you look at min of month, that is month is April. I know. So if I run this query, year not count star, min year.
You can select only minimum year and
2009, right?
direct month.
Where year greater than 2000. It will be 2010, right? I'm sure. Month is only April. In 2000 month, right? See, August, right? In 2010 only August we have. This is even more confusing. Where is April? December. Minimum of year is by default. Why it's showing minimum April? Minimum April. A for April, is it? I should do month int. My bad, Sabrish. Give me a minute. Month int is 1 January. I do have a month int. But we say month is alphabetical, right? A to, by default, January is J, right? Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So only months that starts in alphabet is A. That's a wrong. It doesn't take into account, right? There is no semantic computation does by the DB. DB doesn't do that. Correct.
Yeah.
So minimum will be April. What a foolish thing.
Mm.
Today one interesting thing related to that. I saw it in Twitter. I'll chat it with you later.
Yeah.
Such a subtle query. Now let's execute this query. Minimum month int will be 1. Obviously, I know. So let me run month and year.
Next DB refiguring, we will change it to
2009 1. Oh, this is what I'm having a doubt, Samesh. See, it is doing two things. Minimum of year is separately, it is calculating. That is 2009, right? And minimum of month, it is not relevant to this. I think I need to apply.
No, you.
Well, 2009, 12 is the least. I am thinking 2010 somewhere, but 2009, 12 is what we saw that, right?
Yeah.
Where the year we put it somewhere. Yeah, 2009, 12. This is right. But this min year and min month is not related to each other. The month int of minimum is not relevant to this year being selected. This is on its own. This is on its own, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how should we
selecting from the table data.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or we should put a subquery. Select minimum of month int from this, where minimum of year is this. So somewhere you do inner join somewhere, right? Not in the straightforward query. So this looks like December 2009. Only we have these entries. So I'll say 2000. Okay, not this. Count off. 2010 April. Okay, that is something still you don't need it. 2010. That's a minimum. Month int also is gonna give me the same because 1 is a month int, right? So what I can do, I remove this and then execute this. Here equals 2001. Oh, so we have this. So let's start from 2010 is right. I thought from May onwards we had 39 entries. So if you look at this view transaction, I would have mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it. So this is my own logic. Only current year, previous 2 years, you see the data, and when you hover the mouse, you see the total. You see that in the tooltip, right? How much has been collected for that year. Obviously, I wanted to put a graph chart just to show you something similar to what we have it here, right? I've shown you this consolidated, something like that, a vertical graph or a chart, right? So I have mentioned it earlier. Only since those days I made it May 2010. That's why I remember. But maybe here, if you look at it, January itself we have it. So I'll remove this. Just a star. Here you get it. So January 2009, 2010 onwards we have it. All credits. There is no debit. Transaction type is all credit only. So January 2010. So we have a 2010 sheet here, right? Year 2010 raw gold, January. How many entries we have? This is all for credit, am I right?
Yeah.
35, but I have it here as what? 39. I don't know. It's even more confusing, right? Sri Lakshmi. Where is Sri Lakshmi? Her name should be the first one always. The very first transaction. 363. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. See here, May 2010, I told you just now also, right? Sri Lakshmi Murali. For May 2010, her transaction I've added. I know because I've been seeing this database. So that's what I was saying. May 2010 is what we started putting in. I don't know, somewhere we have inserted the rest of the months from January as well, I guess. One, two, three, 4 is not there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for the year 2010, we have almost all the month entry, right?
Okay.
If you put count star, what will happen? Only 5. Why? Distinct month and count of what I should give. Order by 1. Year 2010. Month into 5. Okay. I want to take month in, not distinct. Sorry. I think it takes all of them. Month in, count of stars. Group by. Not order by, right? I can still run this.
It
It doesn't tell. So I should put this month in. Each month, how many transactions is there? Year. Let me do this. Just wanted to check, right? Count star. Group by. Acha. Year, month. Yeah. Order by. So 39, 3, 1. I don't know why. What are they doing? 3 and 1. May onwards, it is proper. You see, right? Sabrish? So I wanted to check what are the transaction details. Where year equal to 2010, month into 3, order by year, month in. Lena Padamtudi Gangadharan, Pulmovi. Lena Gangadharan. So looks like some entries we have added. So maybe when you take a look, we'll understand. This is 2014. Here it is. February. I don't know. This is something different, not from regular contributions, Sabrish. These are all regular contributions that we used to receive, right? Something will be for appeal as well, right? See, this is appeal. I have mentioned it. CYML is an appeal, right? So this is something. I don't see the names Gangadharan and all. Leena Gangadharan, Guru Prasad, A Guru Prasad. So it is there in this entry. Maybe I've added it here, but not in the Excel sheet. And unfortunately, I didn't have the audit columns here. I used to tell you, right, by when this was captured. Of course, this is for a particular date, March, etc., February 2010. At what time and date this transaction was added into the DB? We have it created on columns, right? Audit columns, right? So that is something we need to have it, Sabrish. In the table transaction details, I would request we have what?
Audit column.
Audit columns. Did I mention the transaction column? Yes. What we should do?
I will close at 11:30. Can we close at 11:30?
Yeah. Yes, but sure.
Okay.
So current date. This is something we can add. Okay. Audit columns.
Oh.
Generally, it is helpful. In fact, we should add it into current column, current table as well now. Correct? Even current database, it's not just for historical transaction. I can add it here for one more task.
We can figure out the table structure also, not on the additional columns which we need to insert.
Yeah. I don't think it may fail somewhere, but yes, let's just wait for my confirmation. Locally, I will check. Okay. So that is it. So this way you create the structures, import this transaction table. Maybe if you want, you can add a remarks, etc. Description, remarks, master details, right? Sometimes we have a bulk node. This is nothing but the mail content, right? In case, because this is the last time we should be reviewing this Excel. I'm planning for that, right? So you create a separate table called appeal details, appeal history, or whatever it is, appeal notes or something like that, where we can copy this long text. Most likely I would have copied this. See here, whatever the mail content we have got, if not the attachments, not the attachments, but the mail content, right? I would have stored it where you can do what you can do. Of course, there is a manual work. Not everything can be automated by a click of a button, right? You might need to copy paste, but this is how we should process it so that this Excel sheet can be closed once for all. Because even today I'm carrying this, right? Maybe for a purpose since 2007, right? So what we can do? New table or a new column? Why I'm saying a new table, you know why? Any guess instead of new column?
We don't disturb any existing flow.
Yes. Existing table will not have it, right? Okay. So this is something. Also, the transactions you need to market. See, every transaction I have to market here. See, gradually I have started here as well. You look at it. This is from ICACA. Wherever you have the transaction remarks, you capture it. Where you capture it in transaction table. This table. Remarks. So this is what you have the comment, right? Transaction entry. This is the column you have this actual transaction entry from bank. So got it?
Okay.
Or no, remarks only. Remarks column. No, wait. Transaction entry or transaction number is different. That's a transaction entry is right. Transaction number is nothing but a unique number. So we wanted to capture this. That's why we save. We can save it quickly if you want to refer, right? So we started capturing this. Even in the Excel sheet also you could find somewhere. See here we added, right? Transaction check or transaction number. This was added only in the recent years, not in the initial years of 2010 or something. This is one of the enhancements when we added, myself and Janani, we were working on, we added this transaction number. This is to uniquely capture the transaction reference number. You find it in the transaction sheet, right? See, this is a transaction. Nifty UTR is unique code, am I right? To capture this alone, we added this. So you see so many null entries here. Null entries, you see it here. Maximum. Select maximum transaction ID. Here should be fine, right?
Yeah.
From table transaction details where transaction number is null. 2013, right? Now I get month end. So since 2012, 13 we have added. 2014 onwards we added.
Okay.
Since 2013 December, we did not have the transaction. So here only we added this transaction number, right? So if at all I wanted to check 2013 file, we wouldn't have it. Okay, 2013 consolidated. We have it here, but maybe this was not inserted, perhaps. So this is all I'm saying, Sabrish. While you are working on as well, please get into this habit of mine. You see what I'm doing, right, Sabrish? While you're working on any questions that you have, please capture them in a notepad so that we'll take it to a point of discussion. We all can agree, record it for future reference for any of us. Right? Any questions, Sabrish?
No.
I have kind of given you what we should better be doing for the previous one. Of course, yes. according to this sheet, I'll still walk through the steps to you and Janani once. I'm sorry, Kushbu. This is purely with this Excel sheet. I'm telling you, right? 2011, 12, these sheets, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2015 is the last, and 15 also we have not had anything. You see that, right? I opened it, it was empty. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Harish? He just created it. Then I thought, no, nothing doing. We'll stop Excel, move it into database. So at least 6 years we are saved, right? No matter what, everything is in DB. No more Excel. Got it? I should have done this.
Yeah.
This template is all for emails, basic template. I should have done this at least a year ago. That's something, you need to stop doing it from cutoff point. So at least from there on, everything will be in a different alternate channel, right? So 2015 onwards, we don't have any entry. Of course, this entry also would be present. Just give me a minute. Of course, I would have taken. Let's verify it. So this you should make use of it, Samesh. Yeah. But why it is coming in January 2015, David Jefferson's name, NSP. Is it not the Janani Priya? It shows Janani 2015. Oh my goodness. It shows with the Janani. So what we could do now, this is something very terrific. If at all it is marked against somebody, we don't know what. Right? Sabarish? This is very cryptic.
Sometimes.
You know where I can find out? Tell me.
Search and
What search? Where I can find out? Tell me. This is just SG0052. Oh, this is wrong, boss. Transaction comment itself has got SG0052, right? Who is SG0052? We have it here. Am I right? David Jefferson. So that is right.
okay.
That is right. What is Janani's name? 399. Got it? Luckily, this guy has helped us by marking his. Otherwise, sometimes the name will come, right? If not, yes or no? Then I'll remove this comment. It's not required. Right? Nowhere. So that is something wrong. Okay, Sabesh. We are good.
Yeah, okay.
See, this is interesting piece, right? You should really make use of this, right? Or the old research also. If you have it locally also, you can set up. I can help you set up this PHP.
Okay.
I told you, remember I told you. The same code base what we have, I'll set up in your machine so that you can run it in localhost as well, right?
Yes, sir.
I do have it here. Very shared next gen. See here, I have the same transaction. Oh my god, where is this comment? So I get this. Here it is, right? Locally, I'm running it. You don't need to really hit the production, but it doesn't matter. Simple queries, right? Doesn't matter. So the same thing you have it here as well. I used to use this very regularly. Transaction entry. It is Marfa David Zeppesin, right? Here you get it.
Okay.
This is the old search, right? So if you want a member ID, if you want to look at it, SG052. So each search will have a different background color here. See, David Jefferson.
Mm.
Member name Janani. What was she? Her. So this is green color background data, right? 399. Likewise.
Yeah.
So we are good. So this is how I want you to. Maybe you take it separately, Sabarish. But probably up to us. Maybe you can wait for that project to start separately also. But if you do this, maybe let's wait for Janani to come. I would request her as well to be present as much as possible. If not, we will have a session with Kushbu and you. But in the meanwhile, what I would request, first take care of all these tomorrow. Whatever I have done, I'll upload it in the Confluence, where you know what steps we have carried out, right? You do it in production data. Will you do it or you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it.
You can do it, right? You have a SHaDE query. Anyways, you have a backup, right? Take one backup first. Just in case, take one backup. Always. And then do this, just in case, because it will have the delta changes, right? Just in case. Take one backup and then execute these commands and then take a fresh backup. Store both of them. Before reconciliation, after reconciliation. Store both of them in different folders within prod.db itself. Here itself. Where, as I told you, one more thing, right? You need to put underscore. We're using hyphen, right? Within this 2021, 4th April, underscore, just like a common convention. So when you take 26th, 25th tomorrow, have two folders. One is before reconciliation, other is after reconciliation. Or after cleanup, retrofit, anything you can do, refactoring, not reconciliation, refactoring. You should use the word refactor. Or cleanup, anything can be used. Put two different. Or you can put 4142. That also makes sense, right?
Okay.
So I don't need to keep searching when did I do reconciliation. Here itself you create a 04_01 underscore before cleanup and the date. Then 0402 after cleanup, the date. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would request before we start discussing in detail on these actual transactions we have, you are clear on this what to be done, right? This is something like independent activity. You don't need to depend on, though the other activity will depend on this to an extent certainly, but you can start working on this. You start working. I'll share this Excel sheet as well. I put it in this same Google Drive, where SHaDE product DB, here somewhere, or either I use this here, old Excels or something, right? Previous historical transaction data or something I put it here, right? So you take this, right? And then start working on, create the table structure. And right, the table structure, what you'll have it is old underscore or historical underscore, whichever you feel like, right? Where is that? Table name, where we have it. Here it is, historical or old. So keep these table names. And what you can do one more thing, right? If you create it in a separate DP, you don't even need this historical, etc., right? You still have the same table name. Only database will change. Is it right? Sabarish, are you there?
Chanson, I was on mute. Better I'll keep the historical name.
Okay. So what you can do, historical SHaDE.
Once we are fine, then I'll directly copy.
Yeah. What you can do, the database name as well. Help to others to match with the Excel sheet. Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
To match with the Excel sheet name, help to others is a database schema, and then you create this. If possible, I create it and give it to you, or you can look at the structure, copy paste, and then just rename the table name. Rename the table name as well in this database. Kindly ensure you close all of them. We shouldn't be entering anything into the current database. That's better. You put it in historical only. Table name also you put it historical or old. Or you even have it help to others. in case you wanna make the table name as well differentiated. Anything if you feel like.
Okay.
Okay. So this probably
Okay.
can you start doing it, Sabrish? Take your pace. I don't rush you.
Yeah.
Start doing it. Maybe
Sure,
every
sure.
week we will just give me an update how much you're able to do, how it is progressing, and
Okay.
how it is going on as well. And if you want my review on anything, we can do that.
Sure, definitely.
And the other thing, what
And
important I said, the transaction to be inserted, right? Either we can create a web page or we'll ask Khushbu to create a Google Sheet. Same thing similar to that. SHaDE appeal info form, we have it, right? Something like that, we'll ask her to create a sheet. So in which you can keep entering. All you need is a web interface. If it is easy for you, what do you prefer? You will feel like adding it here in the web interface, or you would better off creating a script and then insert it in the backend at one shot. MySQL.
I'll prepare the script and
Okay, I'll
just
give it to you.
I want to know the column name. What are the columns name which I have to
I gave you
insert?
this. You have the table structure. Describe. I did a
Yeah,
mistake,
I have.
Sabrish. What I should have done, Tell me. I should have taken a T command. Generally, we do it, right? MySQL T.
Yeah.
It's fine. But anyways, I get it from here. I can save it. Not much we have typed, right? Here it is. I think I can copy the console. Edit. Copy all. Copy HTML format. Copy as HTML. I think it comes as HTML itself. Yes. Why? Select all should I do? Copy all. Okay. Here you go. As HTML it gives. That's a trouble. So I would do edit.
You can select
plain text
manually
only.
and copy.
Yeah. No, edit. Copy all. Plain text only I selected. So that helps. Okay. So this command I'll save it in a .sql. Where do I do?
So the help of data, I can refer the columns, right?
Yes. See, this column names, table name, structure I have given. Table transaction detail, table beneficiary, table appeal info, right? And you can map it also table bank account. Did I add it here? If not, I'll better add it. Table bank account also is important. Sorry.
Okay. So is this 3 table? I need to create new DB
Four
or
table.
4 table? Okay. But I'll do one thing. Tomorrow I'll insert one appeal from the Excel file.
Sure.
And I'll show you. And
No
once you
worries.
go through, then.
Yes. Okay. So this is what we do. Table names have given 4 tables, right? You describe it. You can also get a create query. Do you know that? MySQL. It will give you a create statement. Do you know that?
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Somewhere I already have it here. I can tell you that. Shows a create table statement. Yes. Show create table statement. Show create table. That's very interesting in MySQL, right? So if you look at it, show create table name. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Show create table. Let's assume we want to have bank account. You get this. Here it is. Okay. Sabrish, you don't need to struggle.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it? So I'll add it here.
Yeah, I'll take it. We can take it from GoDaddy also.
GoDaddy has got a production.
PAdmin. Yeah. PAdmin. PHP admin also we can take the delta. Metadata
You
also.
can do that also.
Okay.
That is an ultimate production data, right? Obviously, yes. You need to run this query in GoDaddy. You need to run this query in GoDaddy. Right, you are right. Okay. What else? Unique. You are clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. So this is something independently you can work on. Good that we spend some good amount of time. Thank you so much. So this will
Thank you.
do not very immediate use, but it's a long pending query statement. So you do one thing, gradually you need to start working on it. So initial days, I don't think I must have used appeal, right? Not really. I had all of them. Only very few I would have added. Somewhere target account, etc. Right? Only here gradually I started adding. Maybe it will be useful. See, I don't need to go to the mail to refer the content, right? Initially, I started referring only the initial limited data. Then I think, see, this is all only I needed. I copied pasted. Then gradually, I think I copied pasted the full history from the mail itself, right? Somewhere behind the scenes, I would have added. See here, something whatever possible whenever I started copy pasting the entire content from the mail. So that way, it helps us. So whatever you could make use, you get it, you please fill it. Later, we don't need to go to the mail and fill it. That is not required for us now. Maybe for the new appeals we do. Here, whatever is available, we'll do it. And whenever you have a query on any appeal, just mark it red color. What is your doubt also, you type it. So that whenever we sit for discussion, maybe it sometimes may not happen immediately on the next day or next week. Say I have a production release, production issue, or you have some work, we may forget. That's why what I always recommend, Sabrish,
Yeah.
what I always recommend,
Keep a
what I
notes
always
on.
recommend.
Yeah.
What you do, what you're understanding it, right?
Documentation. Yeah.
No matter what, of course, it takes some time. I agree. The meeting for 1 hour, 1.5 hours we have spoken now must have gotten to only 1 hour, probably because of the documentation that I do. But the 30 minutes is a very great value add, right?
Yeah.
Similar to my Amazon video, AWS video. This is the same structure I have conducted the teaching for AWS for my friend, right? Of course, audio was missing.
Yeah.
But even now, if you look at it, somebody is able to watch
It is
out his
very
video
good.
without an audio. Will he or she able to get it or not? I'm even typing it that way, right? At least you will get some good context. If not the voice, decent text, you will get the context, right? So what I would say, this we have done, right? Transaction. This we have done.
It's simple and neat and clean.
Yes.
So
this open. I need to do. I'll do that, right? So likewise, I'll put it in Confluence as well. Okay. So this is something we'll start as a separate project between you and me, where not even Janani was not there into the picture. She got to know, we both got to know only in 2010 February when I joined Cognizant. That too again after a couple of months, not even my immediate joining. Maybe in the month of May, June or July. During that time only we happened to speak with each other. And then gradually she got along. In the end of year 2010 only she became actively like how you got in now, right? Few months ago. Because initially we were talking, getting to know each other, etc. Then gradually she got interest. So 2010 end of the year only she came into full-fledged gradual mode of SHaDE. Till then it was all with me, right? So this sheet may not really require anybody else. Like what I'm saying, for other transactions we need Janani, possibly, right? She would help. If at all I miss something also, she was actively involved in these exercises. So I would most likely prefer having Janani and Kushbu. We four can talk. Very worst case, if she is not able to, I'll try to run through my own because still there I was a main person for that as well, though she was equally involved, right? So whichever, if I am not able to do it, I need a assistance from Janani, we will park that alone, make a notes and move on. So most part I should be able to run through that we will take a call. But apart from this, this is something still a separate episode based on this PDF. We will run it separately, this walkthrough steps, right? But rest of them, this is the old Excel, help to others, between a separate project between you and me. Right? So here I would mark where is help to others, right? Actual shared transactions, we will have with the Janani, Kushbu, Sabrish and Raghav, right? But this is going to be with only we, right? So primary request is something where like EMDT table we have, right? Workflow. Help to other schema, right? That's the staging. Excel SQL script
I
to
don't
help
know
others
whether
schema.
we can use integer in a database name, but let's see.
You put it
Let me
to,
try.
you put it to,
Okay, okay. No, no, if
or you do
possible, I
this,
can create or
help to
else.
others,
Okay.
whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Review. This is very important. What is the review? You will do it on your own.
Okay.
And staging the review and then push to prod. This we both can do that.
Okay.
Or push to prod also you can do on your own, not an issue.
Okay.
So I don't need to be there, right? Just a SQL script you will create, you will insert it on your own, right? But please ensure we take some metrics, how many records being added, corrected, like you need to create a dashboard kind of stuff, like a metrics, just to let you know how many records we are expecting it to get inserted. Put a select query in the SQL, right? That should help us, like when we move it to production, how much, you remember in the EMDD I used to write a script, right? What are we anticipating? There's something like production release. When you move it to production, how many rows should be there in each data, each table?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
please
right.
create some metrics. Okay?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, Sabrish. What else? Any questions?
No, that's
You're good?
fine.
All right.
Let
Thank you so
me.
much.
Yeah,
So
sure,
most part,
sure.
you know what? This Excel sheet, if you go through also, you might get to have a better understanding, but still, I'll walk you through. Nevertheless, if
Okay.
possible, you just give it a try. I'll upload, I'll remove the
So,
Excel sheet, passwords and
what is the Excel
upload it.
name?
This Excel name, I'll add it here, right? This is help2others.xls. This is all shared transactions year, each year that we have. I'll try to remove the passwords better. We don't need a password now. And then, because as of now, all the SQLs are unprotected, right? There's only a protected SQL drive that we have. I'll remove the passwords and save it in the newer version and upload it here, right? New folder, what do I do?
And I'll take this only one Excel and I'll play around it.
Historical Excel sheet. I'll name it here, right? Historical Excel sheet. Maybe SHaDE, this is fine. We understand what it is for. Inside, I'll drop all the files here after password removal. You can get it and take a look. Okay?
Okay, we'll do it now.
Okay, yeah.
Please mention that
You first take
Excel.
this. Help to others. I've mentioned it. I've clearly mentioned it here, right? Help to others. See, this one is all with all of us. The help to others, the XLS sheet is what we're going to look at. I am requesting you to only take a look at this help to others.xls6 first to five. I even create a new folder for shades, rest of all SHaDE entries, right? So this is what primarily I would request you to work. Let it take its own time, I don't deny, but at least let's say ensure we have some progress every week, incremental, right? At least 3 to 4 or 2 to 3, whatever may best, right? So that we have some consistency. And please try to insert it with the audit columns. Don't forget it, so that you will understand which entry was created by which date. As and when you run it in the database, the current data will be captured, right? That way we'll automatically, that becomes an auditing report for us, right? How many entries we have created, how many appeals we have closed by which date, which week, etc. Right? Created date, created by. That is not there. You need to, don't forget. The current table structure does not have the transaction, this thing entry, right? Table transaction details. This does not have created date, created by. You need to add them here. Transaction entry, right? Makes sense? Even when I would say you add it in all the tables, worst case, you do it in this table, right? I said wait for Raghavan, right? Where did I say wait for Raghavan? This is appeal notes is fine. Now here, where this wait for Raghavan, audit column, right? In the current table transaction details table, you don't do this, but you do this for rest of all tables. Okay. You know why? I'm saying all the tables. Sabrish? Because this is not just for transactions. Sometimes we might do something on beneficiary as well, whichever you keep adding. Any beneficiary that we add as well, right? Appeal, we might keep adding because of every sheet in the help to others, right?
Okay.
You will be working on these 2 sheets to this week, to today, tomorrow. Next week, you'll work on these 3. At what time you create that appeal in the system, even the temporary database also, let's capture this, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll put it here for all the tables. Okay, that's all submission.
Okay.
I'll send these 2 files in WhatsApp to you right away. Quick review. I'll actually add them into Confluence as well later. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Tomorrow, I don't know, you said you have a work. So Kushbu, I'll see to her. Anyways, we have spoken now. If required, I'll have a separate call. I don't know about Kumar and Janani. If anybody has joined, you feel free. Anyways, you have spent a good amount of time now. So if anything to catch up with Kushbu, I'll talk to her. If at all we are speaking, right? Then we will catch up next week. What I would only request you one thing. On a weekly basis, let's sync up. If not at this link, quickly, what have you done? Any review we need to do. Maybe at least you will need it for initial 2-3 weeks, right? Just to verify the flow, whether it is all going good or not. That we can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks, Sabrish. Good night. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Good night.